Thanks for joining in on this late edition Facebook Live. We had to go on late because of the Packers Niners game. So that's why we're starting this late. And I'm doing this Facebook Live because it seems to be the chances of freezing rain. They're on the uptrend for Sunday into Monday. So the Monday morning commute, that could be a bit tricky. We are expecting some ice accumulation. So tricky commute Monday morning, power outages possible. And earlier today, the National Weather Service, they issued a winter storm watch. Can show you that right here. So this will take effect tomorrow at 6 p.m. and it will continue all the way through Monday, 3 p.m. And why did they issue this? They issued it because freezing rain is back in the forecast and ice accumulation is expected for us. And in that kind of royal blue color, a quarter inch to maybe a half inch is looking likely for us. And ice accumulation is that high can definitely cause issues for us. And the winds will be strong too. So if the ice piles up on tree branches, weighs them down with that breeze, could see some power outages Monday, and it will be cold initially, but by Monday afternoon, temperatures should be getting up to above freezing. So the freezing rain potential will end Monday afternoon, transitioning to rain. But Monday morning is when we have to watch out for because that's when the freezing rain potential will be the greatest. Now, tonight, if you haven't noticed, it is still freezing cold. Fayetteville is at 16 degrees, dew point 9, calm breeze, clear sky. So the high pressure is still in control. And Fort Smith, it is a little bit warmer, but still the whole area is well below freezing. So the Arctic air is in place. So that's one of the reasons why we have this freezing rain potential tomorrow is because the air at the surface is so cold. And tomorrow it's going to be another cold day. So tonight we should be dropping down to the lower teens. So a little bit warmer than what we saw last night. And then notice tomorrow afternoon, temperatures finally, I think this should be a couple degrees above freezing. So mid 30s tomorrow. So it's going to be a cold day. And then notice as we head into Sunday evening, we got some 20%, 30%, 60%. That is a chance of a wintry mix. And then later on Sunday night, it looks to be seeing some freezing rain potential going up. So here's what's happening right now. Yeah, so Alex, it is a little bit far out because right now it is looking quiet. But at this time tomorrow, I think we're going to be seeing some icing. So as we expand the view, notice how the clouds are coming in from the southwest. So we're in that warm southwest flow, and the air at the surface is still very cold. So here's what's going to be happening. Now, this is the reason why we think that freezing rain is going to be the main concern for us because right now it is very cold. If you go outside, you can feel it. So the shallow Arctic air layer is over us. So that's why we are below freezing. And then the southwest flow kicks in, especially tomorrow. So the warm air is going to go above that denser cold layer. And then above the cold layer, there's going to be some warmer air. So as the precipitation initially falls as ice, it's going to melt in the warm layer and then refreeze in that cold layer. And looking at the soundings, we think that the cold layer is going to be pretty shallow. So freezing rain looks to be like the type of preset for us. If the cold layer was a little bit bigger, it would be sleet. But for us, freezing rain looks to be like the main potential weather threat for us. So for tonight, looking mainly clear. Here's Sunday, 7 a.m. So tomorrow will start quiet. Going throughout the day Sunday, notice cloud cover increasing. So around sundown Sunday is looking to be filling in with a cloud cover. Rusty's saying, boo. Yeah, I am right there with you, Rusty. I do not like the ice. Nobody wants the ice. I don't mind snow. Like, remember last Sunday we had that snowstorm? Well, tomorrow is not going to be snow. It's going to be the ice. And it doesn't matter if your car is all-wheel drive. Your car is still going to be slipping and sliding. So it's not going to be a good deal for Monday morning, potentially, because the latest models, the potential for the icing seems to keep on going up. Here's Sunday, 8 p.m. So less than 24 hours away. This is the graph model showing some freezing rain moving in. That's what the pink is. And then here's 2 a.m. Monday. Freezing rainfall rates are going up. And heading into daybreak Monday, I think this is a pretty good depiction of what's going to be happening Monday at around daybreak. Notice how in the River Valley, the precip type is still freezing rain. It's because of the terrain in northwest Arkansas, the Boston Mountain region. Remember back to the layers of the atmosphere when the cold air was at the surface. The cold air is going to have a hard time retreating with the terrain in northwest Arkansas, so it's kind of going to hang out in the River Valley. So I think this model is doing a good job showing freezing rain still happening around Fort Smith area, and then even east into counties like Logan County Monday morning. And that looks to be the bullseye for the freezing rainfall totals. And then Monday afternoon, temperatures will eventually climb up to above freezing. And it's looking like a rainy Monday. Might even hear a few thunderstorms Monday. Not expecting severe weather Monday, but I wouldn't be surprised if we heard a rumble of thunder Monday during the afternoon, especially in the River Valley. So that was just one model. Now here is a few more models showing some ice accumulations. So the model that we just looked at was the graph model. So this is what it's showing for the ice accumulations. In the River Valley, maybe even up to a half inch of ice. A half inch of ice that can cause significant impacts with the road conditions. And when we get a half inch of ice, we have to start thinking about power outages because that can weigh down tree limbs, that can weigh down the power lines, and there will be a breeze, so that will compound the effect of the potential power outages. European model shows a similar solution. See that freezing rain pooling up just south of the Boston Mountains. GFS a little bit less. It's been pretty consistent, showing lesser totals. In the NAM model, kind of in between, but still showing the bullseye in the River Valley. Now, here is the ice map that Peyton made, and then I updated it today a couple times. Notice how Fort Smith and areas east has that bullseye, quarter inch up to a half inch. Again, that can cause significant impacts, roadways, and even north up into Washington County, Fayetteville, Bentonville. Has some questions about Bentonville. Will Benton County be added to the watch? I think they might be. They could be. But I think that tonight, I think that a winter storm warning will be issued for probably that same area, and then maybe advisory for Benton County, because the ice accumulation will be definitely less in Benton County, but definitely still the potential for some ice. Even if there's a tenth of an inch of ice, that can still cause dangerous road conditions, especially on the overpasses and bridges, and even the side roads. We're going to have to be watching out for that. The saving grace might be that temperatures aren't going to be all that cold. Morning lows are expected to be in the upper 20s. Let me get caught up on some comments here. Please go south of Benton County. I hope so too. And the latest model trends are the confidence in the icing potential is going up, but still the bullseye remains south of Benton County. Dreamy of 80-degree summer days. Yeah, me and Peyton and I were doing a Facebook Live last night, and Peyton looked up. The last time it was 70 in Fayetteville, I'm pretty sure, and it was a while ago. So yeah, it's been cold, but next week it is going to be a bit warmer. Whose fault is this? We specifically asked for no ice. Don't blame me. I don't make the weather. I just forecast it. I know that's what we all say, but believe me, I do not want any ice. I hate ice. And freezing rain looks to be in the forecast. But beyond that, check out Monday afternoon. A whole lot of rain. And then we're seeing a whole lot of rain moving in next week. So rain chances pretty much each day next week. But the best chance for rain looks to be Monday, 100% chance. It's the 10th. Did I misspeak? I might have misspoke. Don't want to cause any confusion on the ice map here. Yeah. Actually, I made a mistake on the ice map. That should be 0.05 to 0.1. Let me fix that in real time. Just a lot going on. Yeah, so a 1/10 of an inch of ice looks to be the maximum for especially northern Benton County. But if we get far south into Bentonville itself, there might be a little bit higher totals for that. Okay, all right. All right, here's a reply. Yeah, and even if we get a 1/10 of an inch, again, that can still cause significant impacts on the roadways. As far as power outages with a 1/10 of an inch, that's not likely. We have to get up close to a 1/2 inch to worry about power outages. And notice that bullseye in the River Valley, 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of ice. Will there be any instability in the rainy weather at the end of the week? It's good. That's a good question. I really didn't look that far out. I looked at Monday afternoon. Not really too confident with that. But as far as severe potential, definitely looking low for next week. But we'll be watching. Things might change. You know, it is Northwest Arkansas. So if you're just joining us on this late edition of the Facebook Live Saturday evening edition, it is cold for sure. And here is a feature track showing how cold it's going to get tonight. We're going to be dropping down to the lower teens. So there is a Arctic air mass in place. Just got a drink of water. Yeah, so there is Arctic air mass in place, but that will slowly be eroded. And as it gets eroded, temperatures will warm up, but not before we have that potential for some freezing rain. So here is tomorrow, Sunday, 8 p.m. Freezing rain chances are increasing. Christian, will we see a lot in Fort Smith? Fort Smith, I think, has the best chance of freezing rain and seeing the higher totals. So here's 8 p.m. Fast forwarding in time to 1 a.m. Monday. Notice that freezing rain is the main precip type across the forecast area. And then as we head into daybreak Monday, notice how Fort Smith and areas around the River Valley still show freezing rain. It's because the higher terrain in Northwest Arkansas, the cold air is going to have a hard time navigating around the mountain ranges. So it's going to kind of hang out in that valley area because the cold air is more dense. It's going to hang out. And that's where the higher precipitation totals as far as ice accumulation are expected for us. And then eventually Monday afternoon, we're going to go up to above freezing. And then you can see all rain, widespread rain, 100% chance of rain. Looking at some comments. Lisa is saying, I'm driving a friend from Bella Vista to XNA around 10 a.m. Monday. Will it be okay? Well, yeah, see, that is a time frame that's not a good time frame to be out on the roads. Again, I see, notice how the temperatures are so marginal. Like, if they are in the upper 20s, lower 30s, they're right around that freezing mark. So if we're a little bit warmer, the freezing rainfall totals are going to be a lot less. But if we're a little bit colder, this event could be a lot more significant for us. So as far as the confidence on this event being a high impact event, I'm probably about medium confidence that it's going to be a significant event for us. There's always that chance that it's a little bit warmer or a little bit colder. So if those are your plans, Lisa, to be driving from Bella Vista to XNA around 10 a.m., let's fast forward to 10 a.m. and see what this model shows. it's showing temperatures above freezing. But that being said, overpasses and bridges could still be a tricky spot. So I don't like 10 a.m. I like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. because I think the morning hours on Monday, that is going to be risky. But the closer you get to noon, the better off you are. So before sunrise, around daybreak, just after sunrise, that is the best potential for icing. The closer you get to noon, the ice should be beginning to melt if this model holds true. Chris is asking, how bad will this ice storm be? Well, last night we were talking a lot about 2009. Not going to be that bad. Definitely not. But this ice storm is definitely worth noting as far as a lot of the models, they've been very consistent on showing the ice accumulation. Here is 4 of our computer models showing the bullseye, River Valley area, but still the whole area is showing ice accumulation pretty much. So don't be out on the roads tomorrow nights. Yeah, Michael, that's some good advice. Yeah, because again, it's not going to be snow. It's going to be ice. It doesn't matter how good your car is in the snow. If you have all-wheel drive, if you have the latest and greatest traction control, you're still going to be slipping and sliding if this ice storm pans out. And the confidence keeps on going up that we're going to be seeing some ice accumulation for us. Getting some questions about timing. What time is it starting tomorrow night? Okay. Here are a few precipitation timing charts here. Stand by. All right. Okay, here it is. So take it full. Yeah, so notice how precipitation chances begin Sunday evening, a very low 20% chance. Then they quickly go up to 30 and then 60% chance around midnight. And then around 5 a.m., definitely going to be seeing freezing rain. And then by daybreak, 100% chance of precipitation. But notice when we're in the hundreds, there will be a changeover to all rain. So, yeah, timing for Pope County. Got a question about Pope County. Just outside our coverage area, but it's close to the River Valley. So I can show you that right here. Here is the River Valley. So the timing compared to Northwest Arkansas is going to be a little bit earlier, but not by much. Really not by much. Maybe like an hour earlier. So 4 a.m., 3 o'clock in the morning, the best chance for it. Is there any chance of snow? No snow. Nope. It's going to be ice. And so it's not going to be fun. Do not want... Nobody wants ice. At least I don't want ice. Nope. So that's the River Valley precipitation forecast. Good evening from Birmingham. Will any of this reach Alabama? That is a good question. Let's show the European model and see what that shows. I wonder what the temperature is right now in Birmingham, Alabama. So here's the European model. So notice how the clouds are moving in from the southwest. So that warm air is going to be going over that cold air, and that's why we had the freezing rain potential. That's why we're not expecting snow, because it's going to melt, and then it's not going to have time to refreeze before it hits the ground. But the shallow Arctic air will be at the surface. That's why a whole lot of pink is going to be moving in. So yeah, as far as Alabama, I didn't see any ice moving into Alabama based on that model. But yeah, thanks for joining us from Alabama. So if you're just joining us, talking about that freezing rain potential, confidence it seems to be going up in the freezing rain potential for tomorrow night and especially Monday morning. So if you have to be at work early on Monday, drive people to school on Monday. Um, we had Monday was school was canceled last week. It is a good chance. There's a chance that I don't want to say a good chance because that's not my call, but there is a chance that's going to be canceled again for Monday. Yeah, Thomas. The reason I asked about snow is I noticed during last night's live you showed a model of possible snow. Yeah, that was the NAN model. Not buying it. Not buying it for a second. Let's see what it says now. Yeah, here's the model that had the snow. Yeah, yeah. See that's way overdone. Way overdone. Not gonna happen. Nope. Nope. I believe that, and I definitely believe that. You see, the one thing about the NAN model, it does a good job with the shallow Arctic air mass, and as it retreats, I think this is a good depiction of what could be happening Monday morning at 10 o'clock. I think that the colder air is kind of going to hang out in the river valley because it's going to sink in the valley and it's going to have a hard time retreating northward. And you can see the precip type in northwest Arkansas is mainly rain, and in the river valley is still the freezing rain. But then as we hit noon and then beyond noon, temperature is going up. Whoa, slow down. During the afternoon, it's going to be all rain. Yeah. How bad will it affect the roads in northwest Arkansas? Yeah, so we are just talking about that. So as far as the effects of this system, uh, if you get a tenth of an inch of ice, that can cause some hazardous road conditions. Once we get up to like a quarter inch to a half inch of ice, that is really bad. Once you get to that level, we start to talk about power outages. Um, and notice how the temperatures, they were just so marginal. So if we're a little bit colder, these totals could be a lot more. But if we're a little bit warmer, they could be a lot less. So it only takes a degree or two. And and you know how the models are at the temperatures. Hello from Eureka Springs. Hey Heather, thanks for joining. Um, Talking about ice accumulation totals, and that's for Monday morning. So Thomas, yeah, the roads, they could definitely be an issue for Monday morning. Definitely be an issue, and I'm sure the earliest it could start tomorrow, Sunday evening. So let's go back to a model. Um, let's look at a different one. Let's load up a different model. So we've showed the NAM. We've showed the graph. Let's show the HRRR. Load that up. Okay. So let's go forward in time. Let me make it a full screen here. All right. Here's the HRRR. All right. Tonight, those are all high clouds. All right. So I think it's overdoing the cloud cover. Tomorrow morning, partly cloudy, going throughout the day. Just above freezing for the highs. And then notice a wintry mix. So Sunday evening, the earliest, that might be a little bit too early right there. I'm thinking 8, 9 p.m., the earliest. Day, don't be sorry about the questions. I love the questions. because if there was no questions, I would just be sitting here not knowing what to say. So thank you for the questions. so as we keep going and forward in time here, we got the freezing rain potential becoming the main precip type. So here's 11 a.m. showing a good chance of freezing rain. Keep on fast forwarding. Good chance of freezing rain. Notice how the ACRRR does it too. The changeover to rain is going to be slower in the river valley. So that's why the higher totals are expected in the river valley for Monday morning. And then heading into the afternoon, temperatures will finally get up to above freezing. Notice that rain. There's some pretty moderate to maybe even some heavy rainfall rates coming in. And I wouldn't be surprised if we heard a little bit of thunder Monday during the afternoon. And that will put an end to the icing potential. And then beyond that, it is going to be warming up for the better. And if you missed the news tonight, I know it was a tricky schedule tonight. We had the Green Bay Packers game going on, and we had to go on late on the Fox. But here's the 7-day forecast. So we did issue a alert day for Monday. So Monday morning, icy AM. That looks to be in the forecast for us. Heading throughout the afternoon, we should recover to the 40s for highs. So that's good. Even warmer on Tuesday, but notice next week, rain chances each day. But temperatures will be above average, back in the 50s. So it's going to be feeling pretty mild. And next week, it looks pretty daunting. We have cloudy skies every day, rain, showers. It's not going to be a washout. Nope. Monday will be. Wednesday, potentially at times. But it's not going to be a washout. Yeah. How's rain look for Tuesday and Wednesday on the radar? Yeah, Wednesday has the better chance of rain. Yeah, I was looking at that. I spent most of my time looking at the ice potential, though. But we can look at a few models for the rain potential. But first, we had a question about the ice. Will Siloam Springs see ice? Yep. I think nobody is safe from the ice potential. You can see Siloam Springs on the borderline between the 0.05 to 0.1 to the 0.1 to 0.25. Yeah. So definitely we're looking at some comments here. Yeah, so definitely the whole forecast area has the potential for ice. All right. Yep. All right. So rain next week. It will rain. Here is the European model showing. Here's Tuesday. Yeah, so I think Tuesday is mainly going to be in the morning, and then we have a wave moving in Wednesday. But see, the models aren't going to do a good job with this pattern. All right, here's the GFS showing all the ice, and then rain, and then Tuesday. Yeah, see, it's got the wave coming in at a different time. But here's why I put rain chances for every single day. Because here's right now, Saturday, 11 p.m. Not quite in the strong southwest flow, but notice how we get into the southwest flow tomorrow. And then all the colors you see moving in, that's all energy. So all that can produce rising motion that will cause some precipitation. And we're in that moist, warmer southwest flow. All that energy moving in from the Baja region. That's why we say Baja blasts. That's going to be a Baja blast. and we keep being in that southwest flow. And then there's that Wednesday wave coming in. And then beyond that, still another wave moves in. So all that's so so when I look this far out at the forecast, I'm not really looking at. I mean, I do look at the models, but as far as like next Thursday, next Friday, I just see the southwest flow. I see the temperatures, I see the moisture, I see the energy moving in, and I know it's the Baja region. So I just slapped on a 30%, 40%, because it is still far out because the models, they don't handle this pattern well, even a couple days out. Forget about 5 days out. So that's the pattern for next week. Any chance of power outages in NWA? Yes, I think there is a chance for some power outages because not only are we getting the ice, we're getting some winds. The winds are going to be a bit breezy. Now let's look at the winds. I can load that up. While I do that, we can look at the ice accumulation map, just in case anybody's joining. But as far as the winds, yep, they are going to be going up for sure. Here's the wind. So here's tonight, a little bit breezy, but the winds are going to be picking up tomorrow as all that energy moves in. And then here is Sunday, 10 p.m. So around the time when the freezing rain looks to be beginning, the winds are ramping up. Stays breezy throughout the morning hours Monday. So it's going to be breezy. It's going to be icing. Yeah. Becky, I don't want it either. I do not want any ice. Yep. Looking at the comments. Do you think the ice is going to be enough to impact the road conditions? Definitely. I definitely do on that. But the road conditions, the time frame where the road conditions are going to be bad, it's not going to be all day, just mainly in the morning hours. Now notice the ice accumulation totals here. So all we really need is a tenth of an inch to cause some impacts on the roadways, especially overpasses, bridges, even that 0.05 inch. Any kind of ice, we do not want it. We don't want it. Yep. So quarter inch of ice, that can cause some significant impacts. Half inch of ice, that is what we do not want at all. Once we get to a half inch of ice, that is when we start talking about power outages. What about gonna have to help me out on that pronunciation of that town. I don't want to butcher it. GA, I know it's Georgia. I don't think Georgia's going to be getting any ice. When is the next winter weather in the long range models? I know we're not done with winter. Yep, definitely not done with winter. As far as the next winter system, beyond this system, it is not happening next week, looks like. Nope, which I will take. Yeah, so Georgia. Nah. European model isn't showing any ice for Georgia. And again, I haven't done an in-depth forecast for Georgia, but yeah, focusing on Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, that is the best chance for the icing. Yeah. Next winter weather maker and the long range models. All right. Yeah, I can look for a second on that. Let's see what it says here. Let's see. I'm just gonna look at the European ensemble real quick. I'm not gonna get nuts over here. That is the 18Z. Let's look at the 12Z. Yeah, so believe it or not, some of the ensemble members are showing a little bit of snow for next weekend. But again, just not even half of the members are showing it, and it's in like maximum 0.3 of an inch. So yeah, next winter weather maker looks to be in the future at some points, not anytime soon after this icing event. Thanks, Thomas. Yeah, again, because that could definitely change. That could definitely change. Yeah, so right now that is the European model showing Thursday, showing some rain chances. But we're doing this. I'm doing this Facebook Live because the chance for icing is there. This is the latest map. And we have a weather blog on the KNWA website, so you can go and check that out. I updated that tonight, and I got updated again. So I know there's an error in it. I got to go and update that again. So ice accumulations. Again, the bullseye is in the river valley because of the terrain in northwest Arkansas. That cold air, they're going to have a hard time retreating. So if you're just joining, can give you a look at what's going on right now. Right now, it's pretty quiet. But notice how the cloud cover is rolling in from the southwest. So that air is warmer than what's at the surface. So right now, if you go outside, it's freezing cold. That's because the Arctic air is there. So if we look west, this is looking west from northwest Arkansas. The cold air is in place. Southwest flow brings in that warm air. Precipitation chances are back tomorrow. The ice crystals will melt in that warm layer, but the Arctic air is going to be stubborn. It's going to be hanging out at the surface. So that's why freezing rain looks to be the main precipitation maker for us. And here's a feature track. This is the graph model, our in-house model, showing a cold night, cloud cover increasing tomorrow. By Sunday at late afternoon, evening, cloud cover is really going to start thickening up. And then as early as Sunday evening, we start to see the freezing rain potential increasing and then really peaking during the pre-dawn hours Monday and even just after sunrise. So notice the cold air is going to have a hard time retreating past the Boston Mountains. So the foothills of the Boston Mountains, that is the area where the freezing rain potential looks to be the highest. But then by late morning, early afternoon, temperatures will be going up to above freezing. And transition to all rain looks to be happening for us. Again, here's a look at those precipitation chances really going up to 100%. So definitely going to be seeing precipitation chances. Any chance of a winter weather advisory for NWA? Well, let's look at what it takes for a winter weather advisory to be issued. Let me get that graphic up. Stand by. So right now you're just looking at the precipitation chances. And again, this will initially start out as a mix, and then it's going to be going to freezing rain. See if I can find these graphics. Is this it? All right, here's a winter storm warning. Here's what happens for a winter storm warning to be issued. Snow, sleet, and or ice expected. Take action. High confidence a winter storm will produce the following: freezing rain, ice, 1/4 inch or more, sleet, 1/2 inch or more, snow, 4 inches or more, with the duration of this event, usually issued 24 hours in advance. So right now it's midnight. We are about 24 hours out. So usually the National Weather Service, they start making these warnings and advisories around 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, because the shift has to come in. They got to huddle up and they got to make their decision on what they're going to do. So I think around 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, we're going to start to see some changes happening as far as the winter weather advisories and the winter storm warnings. Stand by. Yep. But the question was a winter weather advisory. Here's what a winter weather advisory is. Freezing rain. So all it takes is freezing rain to be less than a quarter inch for it to be a winter weather advisory. So I think that we're going to be seeing a mix of both. I think we're going to be seeing a winter storm warning in the River Valley and Washington County, probably. And then up in Benton County is probably going to be a winter weather advisory. Yeah. That's just my guess. See, right now, here's what's happening. We got a winter storm watch. So those counties that are in the watch, probably going to either be in the advisory or in the winter storm warning. Because for it to be a winter storm warning, high confidence that a quarter inch of freezing ice or more. Pam, I think Bella Vista is going to be a little bit less than a quarter inch, about a tenth of an inch ice. Bailey is asking how fast do you think it will melt? I think it's going to melt pretty quickly because I think during the afternoon temperatures will get up to around 40 and then the ice will be off. Keep the watch. Why isn't Benton County included on that? Because the totals in Benton County are going to be a little bit less. At least that's the consensus. So here's a bunch of models right now that are showing the ice accumulation. So remember, for it to be a winter storm warning, over a quarter inch, high confidence. River Valley. Notice how the further north we go, the less of the totals that seem to be popping up. So that bullseye just south of the Boston Mountains. GFS a little bit less. NAM kind of in the middle. And here's what we made. So yeah, I think that we're going to get some warnings and some advisories. So feel free to chime in right now. Been on for about 45 minutes. So freezing rain chances are definitely increasing when compared to last night at this time. Definitely the confidence is going up. So I'm going to keep you updated. I'll be in tomorrow. Do a Facebook Live once we get some of the short range models come in. I can update you on those and we can go from there. But as of right now, freezing rain chances seem to be on the increase. And again, we're going to have to watch out for late Sunday into Monday morning. That Monday morning commute, can't stress it enough. Going to be potentially hazardous, and power outages will be or will be a risk for us. Any chance we get lucky and get sleet instead? Mm, we could, but I think that the cold layer of air isn't going to be as defined. See, for it to be sleet, we would need to have a little bit more of a deeper cold layer. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be freezing rain. I think freezing rain is going to be the dominant precipitation. And that's the worst case scenario. Nobody likes freezing rain. I sure don't like freezing rain. So if you missed the forecast tonight, I know it was a crazy schedule. Here's the 7-day forecast. Alert day for Monday, that was issued because of the potential for the icy roads Monday morning. Climbing up to 40 during the afternoon. So all the ice will be melting off the roads Monday afternoon with that rain. And then a rainy and mild week. But don't let next week intimidate you. It's not going to be a washout every day. There'll be some points where it's going to be pretty nice because we're going to be back in the 50s. So, yep. I think I'll wrap it up. I got to do a couple or at least one more thing before I can go home tonight. But hold on. I got a good question, actually. Got a good question. It's not a dumb question. This is a very good question. I like this question. What's the difference in freezing rain and sleet? I thought it was pretty much the same. Well, I can show you that right here. Stand by. Let me. Is it anywhere in here? Ooh, where's that? See if I can find it. I'm trying to find an explainer graphic. There it is. So we got far left. That's rain. Frozen precipitation. See, pretty much precipitation is going to fall as ice. In the upper level, it's going to be cold. And then rain, frozen precipitation falls through warm air and melts into rain. So that's rain. Freezing rain, this is the type of setup that we're looking at. Frozen precipitation falls through warm air and melts into rain, which falls as rain because there's not, the cold air isn't deep enough for it to refreeze. So it's going to be rain, and then it's going to freeze on the surface, coating them in ice. So when you get those big icing events, that's freezing rain. Sleet is when frozen precipitation falls through warm air and melts, and then it falls through another cold layer, and then it freezes again. That's sleet before it hits the ground. It's kind of like, Dippin' Dots, kind of like that. Snow is when it's just all cold, and it's just to get that nice crystal of snow falling. So that's the difference between freezing rain and sleet. Not a dumb question. That's a really good question. I like that question. So it's about 12:09 on this Saturday. Hope everybody stays warm, stay safe, and I'll be on TV tomorrow, and I'll probably do one of these again tomorrow to keep everybody updated on freezing rain potential. So have a good night, and thanks.